Hello, and welcome along to the stream tonight. Hello, Nils in the chat room. Good to have you here. And Maurice and Augusto. Hello, everyone. I hope we're all doing well. I hope we're all staying safe. So normally I don't do things like this because I just don't. But the other day, I was added to the GitHub Stars program following some nominations from folks in the community. Now, I was quite chuffed with it, to be honest. Wasn't expecting to be accepted. Wasn't expecting to be accepted. But yeah, I was quite chuffed that I was. So I know at least one person in the chat room nominated me for said program. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Thank you for the cheer, Nils. I appreciate it. Haven't really figured out what it means yet. And Maurice, thank you very much. Thank you for the cheer. I've been invited to a few things on various places. Still trying to feel my way around to see what it's all about. I think that there's some sort of statue similar to what you get from the MVP program at Microsoft. How are we doing, Kim? Good to see you. I was quite chuffed with it. What was really funny about all of this was on the same day. Yes, it's similar to the Veeam Vanguard the program, the Veeam Vanguard program as well. The funniest thing about this entire situation was that on Friday, my eldest child came home from school and she had been awarded the Star of the Day award from her teacher. And I got to tell her that, well, Daddy got a Star of the Day award as well from GitHub. And I thought it was kind of funny. It made me smile anyway. So that was that. Like I said, I don't normally do things like this, but I was quite chuffed when I got added to the program. And I think I'm right in saying if I go to here, I'm one of 4, I think, in the UK. Yeah, so yeah, I'm quite chuffed with it, to be honest. A family of stars, indeed. It's not. It was a complete slip of the tongue, Woody. So I apologise. I don't know where I was going with that train of thought. Anyway, so where we left it last week was I had this big list of things that I was going to do during the week, and quite simply put, I didn't get any of it done. So we're back here tonight to try and finish out this remaining issue on the 221 milestone for Cake.Recipe. And it's a great question, Maurice. I don't. They don't filter it down that far. I don't think. So yeah, there's no Scotland. I didn't see an option to put that in. So, in terms of where these folks are from, I know that John's from Englandshire. I don't know for definite where Eddie and Michael hail from, but I know for a fact that John's based down in Englandshire, but I don't know where the other two are from. So I want to get to the point where we finish off this last remaining issue on this milestone, and then I want to start the process of pulling in some of the changes, working towards the support for 1.0.0 of Cake within Cake.Recipe, and see how far we get with that. So that's the plan. So this one here is pull requests are not identified. So what I need to do is I want to rename this because it's not that they weren't identified correctly. This issue is actually about prevent tasks from running on pull request. Can't type tonight. Pull request builds. So I'm going to edit this slightly. Not that one. I'm going to edit this slightly to say some tasks are executed during a pull request build when they shouldn't be. For example, pushing packages to NuGet stroke chocolatey feeds shouldn't happen when running on a PR build. The packages should be created, but they shouldn't be published anywhere. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to update the comment. So that the problem here was identified during we're doing some builds on the Cake.JSON project, and what we found was that the Dependabot PRs that were coming in were attempting to publish the NuGet packages that were being generated, and that's just not right. I mean, during that pull request, we want the build to be exercised, we want unit tests to run, we want packages to be created, but at that point they're still in pull request, so they shouldn't be getting published anywhere. So what it comes down to is on the likes of the, let me find it, we find in here, publish pre-release packages, which is this one. Then in here, what we've got is, what sort of criteria do we have? We are not a local build, we're not tagged, but there's nothing in here to say not a pull request. So what I think we want is, I think we want a with criteria in here that is the complete opposite of what I just typed there. We want this to be not build parameters dot is pull request, and that can then be skipping because current build is from a pull request. I think that's what we need. So that was for the publishing of the pre-release packages, which is this one. Now I think we want to do something very similar for the publish release packages, which is this one. And then I want to do a search for publish GitHub release, which is this one. Should publish GitHub. Now is that being captured in there? Should publish GitHub is a parameter that is here. Okay, so that's already being handled. So that one's done. I'm going to do another one, clean documentation task. At this point, I'm just doing a sanity check of some of the top level tasks to make sure that they are conditioned based on that one would be okay. Publish documentation is should generate documentation. So is that one conditioned? Should generate. Should generate. Get there eventually. Documentation. Documentation. Parameters would be in here. That one's already conditioned as well. Okay, cool. So I think that's the only thing that I need to change then. So that we added a criteria there and we added it there. So I'm going to say that that is good. If I come over here and have a look at 800, issue 800, added is pull request to criteria for top. It's fortunate. Add pull request criteria to top level to tasks. Do that. Add pull request criteria to tasks. Sorry, I'm just seeing notifications on Twitter from Joel Bennett about chocolatey gooey. So I might go and have a sneaky peek at what Joel's saying. So that should allow me to push that up there. So I noticed, if Nils and Augusta are still in the chat room, I noticed a flurry of activity across some Cake Contrib add-ins over the weekend. Was that all about getting the new tags added to the project or to the NuGet packages, or was that something else? So I'm going to say that this is closed. I'm going to do that. So I think at this point, assuming that this builds correctly, I think we can ship a 2.2.1 release of Cake.Recipe. And then we can start looking at what's needed to bring in 1.0.0. So Augusto was updating cake-add-in and cake-module tags. And Nils has been working on Cake Contrib. Cool. So what that's all about, if we go up to look at github.com/NuGet, may want to get that. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We should do that. Well remembered. What I was going to show was, if we wander over here, for those that haven't seen it, and we look for author, was it Nils or was it Augusto? It might have been Nils. Was it? No. I'm going to say it was Augusto then. Augusto Pro goes. So what Augusto added was this concept of cake is now going to appear on NuGet.org, and it's going to light up for different situations. One of them being that if a NuGet package has a tag that is cake-add-in, if it's a module and it's got cake-module, cake-recipe, so you can see where this is going. The idea being that you can go to the Cake tab and then you would immediately get the preprocessor directive that you would take to put into your Cake script. So they're lighting up the homepages of NuGet.org for different scenarios. So to that end, the Cake.add-ins, Cake.modules, and Cake.recipes now need to be updated to support that tag. So what I've just heard is if we wander over here and we look at this one, then I'm going to pull this into the milestone so it doesn't get forgotten about, and we can add the cake-recipe tag to the new spec. And yes, it's coming. So the PR has been merged. So what we're waiting on is the next release of the website to production. And at that point, there should be this functionality lit up within NuGet.org, which is pretty cool. It'll be good to see that. So what we'll need to all start doing is start clicking that button. When we use it, we need to make sure to click the button, because there's metrics seemingly behind the click of the button that provide insight as to how many folks are using the tab. So if you are making use of it, don't do what I do, which is just normally select all and Control C. Make sure you click the button, and it will go into the flow into the metrics to show that folks are using it. So if we go over here and we look at, I haven't got a CS proj file for this project yet. I'm still doing it the old school way, I think, with a new spec file. So in here, I should be able to add Cake-Recipe, I think. Let's just make sure that those are correctly formatted. I can never remember if it's semicolon or colon or... So they are. So cake build automation recipe, cake build, what's it? Cake. Okay, cool. So if I add Cake-Recipe and we attribute that to the issue that is 811, the Cake tab will also be available for .NET Tools, but you will... I don't remember what I said. The prompt I noticed. Apologies, Nils. The Cake tab will be available for .NET Tools. Cake tab. Right, yeah, so there was another PR, wasn't there? Is that what you're saying? So if we go back and have a look here, then there is another PR that was done that's on a similar vein, which is if it's a .NET tool, then it lights up as well with the tool preprocessor directive, which includes the .NET scheme. So as part of Cake 1.1.0, we brought in the Cake.NET Global Tool preprocessor directive support, so you don't need the external module anymore. So this will now be lit up with a Cake tab under .NET Tools as well, which is also cool. Oh, I see what you're saying. So Cake contrib guidelines will have guidelines for recipe projects. Have a CS oh, interesting. Okay. So at the minute, is that not a little bit of a chicken and egg? If I don't have a CS proj file, then I won't be referencing Cake contrib guidelines. Saying no. What's the no to? Paving the way for... okay. I see what you're saying. Makes sense. Makes sense. But I think, because I noticed Matthias also used the same trick on a project that he was working on recently, which was a collection of Cake scripts, merged in a NuGet package using a CS proj file to collate them all together. So I think we will need to switch to that at some point. So 811 is this one. So if I go up here and do 811 add Cake.Recipe, really? Add Cake.Recipe tag to new spec so that new NuGet.org support lights up for this package when published. Okay, so we can do that as well. So let's do this then. So anything else from anyone before we ship 221? Is there anything else that I need to get included within this? Because I think in terms of what's currently assigned to the milestone, it's good to go. All the other open pull requests are related to support for 1.0.0. I think that's okay. And then the other open issues that have been open recently have been more question related rather than anything else, I think. So I'm going to say we're good to go. Why is that queued? That's taken quite a long time to be queued. You folks doing lots of builds on GitHub Actions just now? And queued for 8 minutes, which is not normal. Normally runs a lot. Oh no, it is running. Just oh, the Ubuntu and the Windows builds are taking quite a while. latest.github.com. Is it cute as well? What did I miss? What did I say? What did I say? It says all's normal. None of these are starting. There's nothing on the status page. Interesting. I think there been any recent incidents on today's date? Today is the 15th. No, nothing recent, but also well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to cancel this one because cancel this one too. I'm going to YOLO it, and I'm going to see if we can't just go ahead and I'll need to run the. Oh, did we set that up? Did we? Did we? Well, if workflows aren't running, then that's not going to help, is it? Let's give it a try. Let's run the workflow on 221 and see if it runs. I don't know, Nils. I don't actually know what the rules are on GitHub Actions. I don't know is the answer. I don't know how you get visibility of that. Get visibility at the highest level? No, there's not an actions at that level. I don't know. It's currently saying starting workflow for this as well. Is there lots of are lots of folks doing things at the minute? What's AppVeyor doing? AppVeyor isn't busy. So let's have a light on. So not seeing anything on Twitter or anything saying that things are slow. Normally folks are quite quick to say that things are not working. While we're waiting, let's go and see what Mr. Bennett was saying on he wasn't talking to me. let's go to what you get then. Joel was talking about this one, I think. So what Jan's put out, Jan has put out a few mock-ups of what the new advanced installation dialog for Chocolate GUI might look like, and he's asked for feedback on whether it should be this one. So it's like my modal window stretched across the entire width of the application. Should it be a window that pops up, a modal window that pops up, not covering everything? Should it be a flyout from, say, the right hand side that contains everything? Or this is what we currently have. So this was our first attempt at doing this, and Jan's attempting to make it pretty. So what Joel's come back with, I want the option that has the dialogue off to the right so I can still see the docs. How else am I going to remember what to put in the parameter fields? Having said that, please use the version with default closed collapsible sections and way less scary empty text boxes by default. Just make sure I can resize move so I can see the docs. Interesting. I see what Joel's I see what Joel's saying there, but that does speak to an issue that Tim just raised, which was, I thought it was an interesting idea. I don't know how we would do it, but Tim suggested that potentially there was some additional entry point. So if you're adding a parameter, you add in, there's some form of combo box where you can select available parameters to then put them in, or have an IntelliSense text box that things light up. Now, quite how we would do that, I don't know. Now, there is almost a standard. So if we were to go to the likes of chocolatey.org/packages/git, then there is almost a standard about defining what the parameters are here. If we could establish a standard in the new spec, then we could, in theory, automatically populate something with those parameters from the new spec. But that would be reliant on package maintainers adopting that standard and being able to parse it out. It's an interesting idea. I don't know how we would do it though, because for now, these install arguments and package parameters is just going to have a free-form text box where you just have to write it in. So an interesting idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to, I probably won't copy because copy over here. Say there was a feature request just did that would help this area as well, but this wouldn't be included in the upcoming release, but rather a future release if we can figure out how to get it. And I'll reply to Joel with that just now. And yes, Jan likes option 2. So initially, so while you're on, Jan, initially I sort of preferred option 1, if I'm honest, but that does seem to be going against the grain of what folks are liking. A lot of folks do seem to like option 2. So let's bring them up properly. So this is option 1, which is full width dialog. I'm aware that there's a lot of wasted space here, but now having heard, so initially I was like, I like option 1, but then having heard what Joel's just said, I can see the benefit. So this window here, Jan, can I move this window? Can I move it? Can I pick it up and move it left and right? So if what Joel's asking, if I wanted to see the package parameters on the list here, can I pick it up and move it over a bit so I can still see the package parameters? Like, oh, okay. Okay, I'm sold then. So option 2 is the right answer. On that basis, though, the fly out from the right-hand side would make sense as well. While we're looking at Chocolatey GUI, does someone have a magic trick to start a program using a non-standard UI culture? I'm not sure I follow what you're saying there. Can you elaborate on what you're trying to do there, Nels? This is still not starting. I'm going to reply to Joel again. I have just been told by Jan that in option 2, the child window is movable as well. So if you wanted to get to see the package parameters, in the details page, you should be able to move the window to tweet. Okay, right. This is not working, folks. So what's the right course of action next? What's the right next course of action? Because if the builds aren't running, so I cannot. Oh, I see. So there is a. Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, and there's a PR from, or there's a work in progress PR from Kim, which allows you to change the UI culture so that you can choose which one you like. But this goes back a while. I can't remember why we didn't move forward with this. I think Kim was maybe just busy. Is that fair? So this would need to be updated. But the idea here was to provide a drop-down combo box to say which of the supported UIs you wanted to be able to use, and it needed to be recreated. We didn't move forward because. Okay, cool. So that hopefully that answers your question, Nils. Right. So what's the correct course of action here then? There have been so many changes to Chocolatey GUI that I haven't. Okay, so it's a fair to say it would be a case of probably restarting that PR again. I'm not saying you, but starting that scope of work again, starting from the current head of the develop branch. Right. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this as well. I'd really like to get this out the door, but I seem to be stuck between a rock and a hard place here. So let's see if I can generate the release notes locally, at least. Okay, perfect. I'm hoping to have some work-related time for Chocolatey GUI at some point, so I might be able to start that scope of work again at some point. because it would be a good addition to have. Let's see if I can create the release notes locally and then try again on a build, I guess. Okay, so that part's all working okay. Because if we go up to releases, there'll now be 221, which includes bugs and the documentation task. If I go in here and do git checkout master, been here before, git checkout track origin master, git merge, no ff fix t that can't be. Do things much though. There can't have been that many changes. I'm gonna do that again. I think it's just my origins. That's what's causing me confusion. Git merge, no ff, hotfix. 8, that sounds better. Right. There are some issues with actions stuck in queued status in the support community. Nothing solid though. Okay, let's try another one. Git push upstream. Because I think well, maybe I haven't. Have I changed the preferred build provider for this? Maybe I haven't. Oh, that's okay though. It's gonna go to that fair. I think we're okay. So AppVeyor at this point is going to take this build and push it out, I think. When we tag it, that is. So is I don't think I've seen him, but is Pascal in the chat room? If he is, can he put his hand up? Because I could go and check actually. I wanted to know if Cake.Issues has been updated to support Cake 1.0.0. Does anyone know? Cake.Issues.Recipe. 3 days ago, releases. I'm going to go with no. Okay. Oh, here we go. There's a pull request for it. Breaking change. What the tasks that are still on here? Okay. It's close, so we can start the process. I think we can start the process on Cake.Recipe to then pull in this when it's ready. So that succeeded. We go back over here and click edit. That should allow us to do publish the release. And assuming that this works, then we should get a new release of Cake.Recipe, which will fix some of the immediate issues that I noticed when I was doing the updating of my add-ins to Cake 1.0.0, and it should allow me to continue that process without my OCD on certain things kicking in. to the point that I'm not able to move forward. But because I've still got, I think, 5 or 6 of my add-ins that I need to get updated to 1.0.0, and it's on my list. And also, Augusto's added. I think you're finished now, Augusto. Augusto's went through all add-ins and all projects and added the same thing that he added to Cake.Recipe, which is to support the tag, the additional tag. So hopefully, just saw that get tweeted out, so we can retweet that. We go over here to NuGet.org, packages. Won't be there yet. It won't be there because that's the wrong name. Cake.Recipe. When it comes through, it should have a new tag that is Cake-Recipe. Let's cheat a little bit and go there. Oh, here we go, look, they've updated it to say major outage. We are investigating reports of degraded availability for GitHub Actions. So that's good. They've acknowledged that there's an issue, which is good. Well, good and bad, obviously. Bug ops to the GitHub Actions folks. Okay, so I need to finish off that release. So if I do git, I'm going to do it switch to develop, git merge, OFF, hotfix, git push upstream, git push origin. Corbob saying, sounds like Microsoft's having a day. Azure AD Auth is having fun at the moment too. Oh, I got to the Azure AD folks as well. I hadn't heard about that one, but yeah, hopefully they can get it fixed. I guess who knows, it could be related. So that's that hotfix finished. I can finish off that win choco branch. I can get, seriously, branch minus d win choco. Most Azure DevOps regions are degraded. Oh dear. Okay. So there's 221, and now we should have a tag that is Cake-Recipe. Beautiful. There's 2 packages. It was that one that, yes. So Mateus's click once recipe has the CS proj file. So do we have an issue for that? If not, we should probably create one. Let's have a wee look here for CS proj. No, so let's create a new issue that is switch to using CS proj file for project rather than using new spec file. This is done in cake.click once.recipe and cake., let's say it's called IntelliJ.recipe, so we can copy what they did. Smiley face. Ooh, see. I think we can, is the answer, Jan. I think we can. Is there any compelling reason that you want to? So there was a PR recently that attempted to do it. So there's nothing to stop us doing it, other than currently the build fails. Well, that's one. So currently, the build and how do we put it? In order to ensure that the released version of Chocolatey GUI works with the released version of Chocolatey, we do some magic with updating the strong name signature of some reference assemblies, right? In order to do that, the way that we do that currently is we inspect the packages.config file to see if said references are in play. And if they are, we go into the local packages folder and update that strong name reference at build time so that it uses the correct reference. Otherwise, bad things happen, right? If we switch to the CS_proj SDK mode, then finding those packages becomes a little bit harder because you have to go up to the global NuGet cache to find those rather than the local packages folder. So it definitely can be done because we do this process for one of the internal builds that we have. So rather than using a package.config file, we do use the CS_proj, the new SDK CS_proj format. However, the trick in that one was to force the package resolving to use a local packages folder rather than using the global NuGet cache. So there's ways around. There's ways to make it work. It's just not as simple as saying let's just use the new CS SDK project format. So we can do it. And like I said, the reason I was asking for this, I don't think there's any technical reason that we can't because we're still targeting 4.5.2. So I'm fairly sure that we can still target that with the new CS_proj format. I think that works now. So I'd rather see it raised as an issue for discussion rather than just a flyby PR that came in. Because I don't think I got a response back from the person that raised that. I don't think I got a response back when I know what I wanted to type there. I'm having problems typing tonight for some reason. Yeah, I mean they raised a PR, but there was no discussion about anything, and it went off and broke a bunch of stuff. So, yeah. I mean, I'd be happy to have an issue raised about it, and we can think about more about how we can make it work to move forward with that. Okay, so we've done that. So, Kim, can I just start merging some of these things? What are your thoughts on updating these? Should we just do it? I know it's going to break a bunch of stuff, but we could then start the process of fixing it at the same time. So interesting. Okay. I think there will be some follow-up PRs from Cake.Contrib because some of the referenced add-ins have then been updated since the 1.0.0 support. So the only thing I considered was the major 1.0.0 release, which I, to be honest, want to get working before it is merged to develop. The only thing I considered was the major. So you want to get it working in the sense of, as in getting it working on the PR branch before merging and develop, or is that what you're saying? I'll wait for a reply. Then no. If we're on the same page. Wanted to get the PR you are working on to work correctly first before merging and develop, either on the PR branch. Okay, fine. So, because what I haven't done yet is I haven't looked to see why this is actually failing. So, I know there was a failed build, which was null reference exception because of. Okay, so let's have a look at. So it's failing everywhere. So let's fail it on. Let's have a look. Start to close off some of these things. Okay, so I think this is what I'm going to be focusing on the remainder of tonight, is to have a look and see if we can figure out what's going on with this build. So let's start at the beginning and let's do GHPR list, and oh, we should get that updated. Choco upgrade GH. Let's get that updated. Yes, please. GHPR list. GHPR checkout 799. That's not the one I wanted at all. Did that? Oh, I wouldn't have expected that to work. Okay. Git checkout, git switch develop. Try that with the right number. 779. And first of all, we will do a rebase on develop. Bring it up to where we are. We'll do a git. Oh, is it up to date? No, it can't be. Upgrade there. On develop. Okay, so we did git push -f. And let's do a build. See what happens. See if we can reproduce the failure locally and then go from there. Oh, okay. I think we can fix that, right? Because, well, hold on. So let's think about this. So currently we are, oh, okay, Are, are we saying in the next release of Cake.Recipe that we're going to support 1.0.0, or are we going to say that we're going to support Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, Kim. I was formulating it in my wee head there before I said it. So yeah, what do we think? Should the next release, should the 3.0.0 release of Cake.Recipe support Cake 1.0, or should it support building with 1.1? I think we should the same. I think I tend to agree. So if I were to come in here and search for, that's not what I want to do. If I were to come in here and search for 1.0.0, then, but this build.yaml is going to do this. Release notes, fine, do that. Cake.Recipe is currently being built. Sure, let's do that. Cake.Recipe should also use. Okay, fine. Do this. Okay, let's do that. So those are add-ins, so that's not going to be included. That is that. This is docs. Let's do that. Do that. That's completely irrelevant. Support for 3.x is this one. Do this one. Let's do this one. 0.38. So workaround. Okay, fine. That one is valid. That one is valid. And that one is valid. Okay. So if we save all of those files, then we should be able to go into content and remove this file because we won't need that anymore because, well, we don't need it anymore because that module is now shipping in the box. So that one will go. So what happens now then if we run the build again? Oh, it said something. Still got an error, so we'll come back to that. Cake.net module is now included, so you should no longer be installed separately. Oh, because I haven't cleared out the folder. Yeah, I had the same thought. So let's just nuke everything from orbit. See if that helps. So these warnings are all about. I thought there was a new version of Cake.git. I thought there was one. Yeah.org. Oh, because it's holding it in an earlier version. It's at 101. But the other one, Cake.issues, issues, 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 and then Cake Azure DevOps. So there is a 101 of Cake.git. And what about Azure DevOps? Oh, there's a beta. Okay, fine. Let's ignore those for a minute. So we'll ignore all the warnings and we'll say testing to see if current commit contains a tag. No tag is present. So where is it getting to? Why do I suspect that it's the branch name that's causing problems here? I think I've been down this path before. Local tag info. Getting current branch name. Oh, no, the branch name is there. Testing to see if current commit contains a tag. No tag is present. No tag is present gets us to output of here, which is returned from here. That's good. Good idea. Verbosity. Verbosity equals diagnostic. Set parameters. Get configuration. Oh, this is bringing back a memory. I spoke to someone about this. Who did I speak to about this? There was a change in the way I have a vague recollection of speaking to someone about this to then mark this as a breaking change in the release notes. But I'm struggling to remember the details of it. This was a while back. This is again. Get configuration path set of argument. I think it's this. Yes, that's where I'm getting to as well. What I am Oh, it would have been the change to we changed to Spectre.Console. So this arguments may well not be called arguments anymore. So how do we, well, let's just see if we're getting to where we are. Create config provider. Context. Turn. Config provider. Context. Select. Reflect. Okay. Context definition. Context what argument get right. Take arguments. Take argument. As argument and get argument. So what is it we're trying to do in this method again? We are getting the configuration. So what we're trying to get is from the list of input arguments, we are trying to pass that into the create configuration object of the configuration provider. So okay. I forget what we even need for. There's no longer an arguments property. The provider has no properties at all, it seems. It do create a cake configuration class with the arguments though, but that is used somewhere else. So within here, we then set that to be cake configuration. And if cake configuration.get value, so we're using it for that. And then we're using it in there. Okay. So the question becomes then, how do we get the cake configuration? Configuration. Wasn't there an extension for that in some PR? Yeah, I've got a vague. I'm trying to remember, to be honest, at Nils, because I seem to remember there being discussion around this. That's where we were, right? Where's this? Oh, hold on. Oh, I can't get to that. Pull requests. What's an issue? Sorry. Issue 2690. 2690. Consider adding sometime with get. Okay. The closest I can find is the arguments alias, but that requires a name to be passed in. Okay, so we don't have that yet. Fine. So Kim's saying that there is a cakebuild.net API argument. It's as arguments as a string argument. Yeah, so that doesn't really help, does it? Okay, so where does that leave Cake.Recipe? Because we want to get the configuration. So we need to fix Cake. Or that's a so that is the same one, Cake configuration provider. Yes. Is this one. Dun, dun, dun. You had a workaround. Well, let's have a look at the workaround. The 054. Cake doesn't have this API at the moment, but it's considered a future version. Would you be able to provide an example? One workaround for now would be to use environment.get command line args and parse the arguments yourself to build the lookup table you mentioned, or depending on what you need to do, a string-based search. Thanks for the help. My use case to be quite dumb. So you know that won't help. That would help if the arguments were only coming in via environment variables. Or, sorry, that would help if they were only coming in via command line arguments. But the potential is that because of the way Cake config works, Cake configuration works, it could be coming in via command line argument as from the cake.config file or from an environment variable. So we would want to handle all of those. I could maybe do a field reflection on the following class. I wish I could copy that rather than moving the. Let me go over here a second. Let me see if I can get that chat window up. Here. Paste. So your could maybe do a field reflection on the following class. On what That's what it's currently reflecting on. Well, that's what it's currently attempting to reflect on. But that property no longer exists on that class. So unless you're looking at the private field, yeah. So that was. We're currently reflecting on. We're not though. We're reflecting on the. We are reflecting on the arguments class, aren't we? No need to apologize. I just wanted to make sure that I'm just trying to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. So I can. So the hope is that we could go to here. That would be passed in here and set here. And then for each argument, arguments group T add contains. So this would be this one then. Yeah. So the question so this is where you see me struggle to try and do reflection live. So there's no get property, but it's get field. Yeah, that's what I thought. Is that going to work? Let's try it. Oh, so yeah, that's a good point about the flag. Alright, can it convert from dictionary or string? May also. Back to that one. Can it convert from string to string? I didn't. Thought I changed that to not want that. Oh, I bet that's. Arguments is. Yeah. So what's passed in is that. No, hold on. That's not what we want to do anymore, is it? Yeah, we want to get the value from the config provider now. No, it's not. I'll get myself all kinds of twisted here. Cake.arguments. Get field arguments. You want the value from cake arguments, but need to pass it into the config provider. I see. Okay. I think. I see what you're saying. This was right. I think. I think I just missed something you noticed. Run the build again. Type or namespace binding flags does not exist in some context. So binding flags is from system.reflection. Let's just put that in there. Reflection. Okay, hold on. I think I might have to go to something else. No, I won't be able to do that, will I? Just try to think how to make this a bit easier to figure out what's going on. So that's back to null reference exception on get configuration, which is where we're at here. So that can only mean that I maybe do. Find out, shall we? That one. That wasn't the right one. Well, you see, it depends on who you listen to. In theory, could not find script. build.cake. Could not find C, GitHub, organizations, cake contrib, Cake.Recipe, build.cake. Why would you be looking? Oh, hold on. I know what that is. That is here. That's that one. Recipe. Okay. Compiling. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Who says debugging doesn't work? I need to tell get her fool or get tool or whatever his name is. So, where are we at? Debug. That's where we want it to be. So, what we're trying to do is context dot arguments dot get type. Let's just see how far we get down this little rabbit hole. Beautiful. That could be part of it, I guess, yes. Dot get field arguments. Null. Dot system dot reflection dot binding flags dot non public. One. Did I see the value? Let's make this a bit smaller. A second. No. Okay. Now you tell me. I can. We're there though. It's still null. So what am I doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? Because over here we can see that if we have an instance of cake.arguments, then the arguments field is populated. Right, okay, hold on. System dot reflection dot binding flags dot instance. Oh, I'm gonna have to go smaller again. Oh, we've got something. So then dot get, this is going to get silly now. Dot get value context dot arguments. Oh, count to one. Key value pair that is debug. Look at that. Okay, fine. So internet points to Augusto and Kim. So let's go system.reflection.finding flags.instance. Time of that, 9:30. Unable to cast object of type. Okay, so that's the cast back again. So that's the problem that I was trying to fix before. So now this is now a list of string, I think. Can't see your comment there, Augusto, in my chat. Thingy there. Yes, sorry. For some reason, it's not. It flows through on the Twitch chat, but it doesn't flow through on the thing that's there. So, can it convert string of list of string to what did I need to do it again? Oh, so we need to convert this thing. So we're saying that create configuration wants it to be. I think I see where we're at now. Interesting. Cake configuration provider. Create configuration wants a key value pair. So do we need to take that dictionary of string of list of strings and then create a key value? Oh no, hold on. So what's the correct way to go from where we are to where we want to be? Let's put some of this back the way it was, so I remember to not do it again. You'll need to keep the keys and take the last of each element. I'm hearing lots of different ideas floating around there. Why do we want to take the last of each element? Well, yeah. So what are we saying then? So Augusto has sent a link to here. Interesting. This is the PR where Patrick created the extension method to extract a single argument from the list of string. Add I cake arguments, get argument extension. Agreed. Should return argument if one of the specified name exists. Orgy. And if it is get argument foo, then it's the last one that you get. Okay. Okay. So based on that, then we should just I remember doing something, yeah, because I remember blindly copying what you did on a stream, Augusto, for one of the add-ins that we updated, yes. I'll be honest, I didn't really read what you were doing. I just said, Augusto's done this before. Let's just copy and paste what he did. So then, from a dictionary of list of string, I want to take every instance of this one and then get the last of this one, correct? So, indeed, stay safe yourself, Maurice. I saw that you sent me a Slack message, but I haven't really read what it is yet. So, I will follow up with that when I get a second. So, what's the optimal way of doing that? I mean, I can think of ways of doing that, but I'm sure that must be a quick way of doing it. Otherwise, I'll just do it in the old-fashioned way. Can be later tonight. Most likely it'll be tomorrow, I would have thought, because I'll need to, after the stream, I'll need to finish up a few things, and then I think I've got to, let me check something. Yeah, I'll have a few things to do, but I will follow up, I promise. Yeah, so what do I want to do here? Arguments.select. Can I do? I guess I should really. Need to engage my brain here a little bit. So hard when you're thinking live on stream. key value pair, new key value pair from pharmacy. From element in list, let key equal element or key, let value equal. I was thinking that if arguments not equal to null, then I'm just wondering if we should guard against things breaking a little bit. That's a fair point. Because the cast would fail like it was doing before. Okay, fine. I mean, we're already fine. I mean, this is very much a hack. We should write a note here, by the way. This is very much a hack. Back hack until this issue is implemented. That was issue. Do I still have that open? No, that was issue. That one. This one. 2690. That works. That would probably be best. So what we're saying is, are we going with this one? Arguments dot to dictionary diction array. Let's try it. Compiling. Oh. Oh. It is indeed alive. But what I'm wondering now is, how do we verify that it's actually doing what we think it's doing? So at some point we said that cake configuration is equal to that. And at some point in here we said get value here. So let's do this. Copy. Where were we? That was parameters, wasn't it? Get configuration in here. So then if we say context dot information configuration get value of that. Let's do this. Testing, setting, skip. We do that. I'll maybe take that verbosity off. So setting skip is null at this point. But if we then do the syntax, so if we go into the documentation and we look at running builds with configuration, set configuration, then either in a Cake.config file, which I don't think we have, which is, no, we don't have a Cake.config file. Delete you. Then setting skip verification, this guy. So if we do this and do this, let's see what happens. Roll back up a bit. Then settings is true. So it was null when we didn't have it, and then we put it on and it's true. So that, to me, it's working. I think that is what we want then. So we go back over here then. How much stuff have we changed? So you can go away. Don't want you. Then what changes have we made? We bumped to 1.1, bumped to 1.1, bumped to 1.1. That was us changing the launch. So let's do a maintenance build there. Maint change launch.json to match file name. So we can do that. So this is what we're going to match against, 1.1. This is a hack. Let's do this. Let's add that one, add that one, add that one, add that one, remove that one. Parameters.create, we don't need that one. Docs is 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, POSIX, 1.1, Windows, 1.1. And we're going to say that this is, what's the issue number? 762. 762. Bump to Cake 1.0 to take advantage of not needing to include module and script. And then we'll say 762, which is going to be, so arguments, and then oh, so I'm going to put this here, this here, here. Going to go here. Let's come back to that one. Go here. Do Must be a quick way of doing this. Commit. Contributors. Why has it not got nils? Really? Oh, it's not even what I wanted. How do I find the commits from a specific person on a repository? I know I can do this. Oh, it's right there. So, Augusto. Here. Merge. This one. Dot patch. This is what I want. I want that. And I'm going to put that in here. Then I want the same thing for nils. So if I go to Cake.Recipe and I go into commits. I did, but it didn't work properly. So I was never happy with how it worked. It did some weird stuff that wasn't really what I wanted it to do. So I uninstalled it. Nils, and then Kim can be .warp commits. Find one of your commits. .patch. This should be much easier than what I'm doing here. Add work around for breaking change in Cake. Ideally, this will be updated again once this one, this issue addressed. Okay, I'm sorry, you said oh, I guess we'll find out. If I go in here now, this one, well, it may not show me in this, or will it? Let's give it a try. Get push. Or look at the command. Oh no, I think it did. It did. So I see 4 people in there. There we go. Cracking. So sorry, there was something about a docs that shouldn't have been changed. So what was that, Kim? There was a edited the wrong documentation file last time. Should probably not have Cake.Recipe 3.0 in the migration. Incorrectly added that though. So update, upgrade. This one. Pinned to latest version. Cake.Recipe 1.x was pinned to run against version. In order to use Cake.Recipe 2.x, you will need to use at least that, and then, oh, I see what you're saying. So we may need another doc. So you're talking about this, taking this line out, correct? Because this doc is specifically for 1 to 2, we're probably going to need another doc, which is 2 to 3. Right, okay, I think that makes sense. So what we should probably do then is new file 2.x to hyphen 3.x.md to do. Add placeholder for new doc. Okay. Okay. So then if we do a git push, then now we've got a working build. I think we're in a better place. So if we go up to here and go to history, then the PR is green and we're in a position to ship it. We're not in a position to ship it. Then we need cake.issues .recipe to be updated to 1.0.0, and I suspect that if we were to merge this, Cake Contrib's bot's going to come along and say, how's about you fix this? So I think we need to manually close off all of these open PRs and the associated issues to then have Cake Contrib bot come back through and tell us which ones have got a point release. I think. So I think I'm going to merge this. Any objections to me merging this, folks? Or, oh, why is there a bunch of merge branches? Why is there a bunch of... What is this targeting? This is going from into develop. Why is there... There's a develop branch. Why is there so many commits? Or is this just an artifact of GitHub? I'm only seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commits. Oh, you're right. I've got orange in develop, but I don't have. Not in me. I spotted. Git switch develop. Git fetch upstream. Git rebase. No, that's not right. What have I done? What have I done here? No, I hadn't pushed develop. That was the problem. I hadn't pushed the develop branch. Yeah. How do I fix that? I didn't want to do that last rebase. Thought I had pushed develop. So master. Yeah. But I think looking at my history, I pushed to both though. Unless there was a get branch -A. The hotfix branch is still there. Let's do this. Get reset hard. Yeah, we're not going to lose anything here. Let's reset to there. That makes, oh, that's the origin. It's failing. No, that makes no sense. Origin develop as that. No, so origin develop has the merge, but the upstream develop doesn't. Okay, so let's do it. Get reset hard origin develop git push upstream. Why did that not take? So what's on the upstream develop that I don't have on here? Upstream develop is here. Oh, so there's some. So there's a merge that I'll need to do because I've merged the PR from nils, which is to pin the virtual environments. So really I need to merge that, or I need to do git rebase upstream develop. But then that will need it. You see that's going to need a merge. Git reset hard origin develop again. No, I don't. I think you're right. It would be a merge, wouldn't it? It's a git merge. No ff upstream develop. Yeah. So at this point here, we've now got that, which includes the work that was done. We've taken the upstream develop and we've put that into develop. Okay, git push upstream. Git push origin. Then we go git checkout called update 21 blah 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 26 yes git rebase on develop git push -f. So now in our PR branch up here we've now got the 10 commits, which is much more accurate. Okay, I'm going to sign off for the night because it's already past my bedtime and it's past your folks' bedtime too. So we can enable auto merge, and if one of you kind folks wanted to, oh, I can do that, I guess. Looks good to me. Approve, submit. Then, assuming that merge is good, then love it. You heard it here first. You guys are all messed up on time zones just now anyway, because your daylight savings changed over the weekend, didn't they? Ours didn't yet. Ours don't change until 2 weeks time. So there's this 2 week period just now where we get an extra hour with the folks in the States. Going to bed at 6 p.m. When I clip that and give it to totally should. Anyway, that's me done. Quick recap, what we done today. We picked up where we left off last week, which was continuing with Cake.Recipe. We pushed out a Cake.Recipe release, which is 2.2.1, and then we set about doing an upgrade of Cake.Recipe to use 1.1.0 of Cake. Did a little bit of a hacky workaround using reflection to get access to the arguments property so that we can use that in part of the build scripts. We'll need to come back and fix that once an issue has been fixed in upstream Cake. So productive evening, I think. If we can get to a point where we have a working build of Cake.Recipe on 1.0.0, I think we could let it stew for a little bit, and then we can switch tracks to look at things like, I have a list. We could switch tracks to look at things like Magic Chunks was the next one I wanted to do. I want to get a release of Magic Chunks out with support for 1.0.0 of Cake. And then after that, Git release managers on my list, Kim. So we could maybe get some of that work that's already in develop shipped if we can close off some of the other stuff that's in the milestone. So that's the plan. Thank you all for hanging out. Appreciate it as always. I hope everyone's staying safe, and I will speak to you all on the internets. So have a good evening, or what's left of it, afternoon, Corbob, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.